Hiya everyone, it's LFC.Liverpool. All about Liverpool. Your comments, everything counts. Excuse me, just as a slip, it's out the wrong goal. Anyway, I've got my guests with me. Any comments that you want to make, please comment. That's all. And we will discuss them. Just controversial stuff. Do whatever you want to do, and it will be discussed. It really will. With the lads, the lads are there. They're all big reds. They take no prisoners, if you know what I mean. They take no prisoners. And this is what it's all about. We're Reds. We can say what we want. You don't have to pay for comments either. You don't have to pay, and they will be read out. I've got Marios Monzos on, the great author. Got him on. I've got Vase of Flowers, Lee. Got him on. And I've got Daryl Merry on as well. And these are fine. These are fine Reds. I'm not just saying especially Marios, but Marios is an author. He's a journalist, a big Red. Written a book about. I'll show you what he has actually written, if you don't mind. And this is what he's written. And just by the way, if you go into the game on Sunday, go into the at Scarf or the Badge, just go there and see Michael and Michelle Dean. Wonderful stuff, really wonderful, top quality stuff at great prices. They've got them neck caps, they've got hoodies, they've got t-shirts, they've got everything. Go in there, they're fantastic and they're good people. And they're open for about 2 hours before the kickoff. So get along there, just help them out. They're a small business. And as I said, I'm not sponsored by them at all. I'm really not. And they're just a great couple who are trying to earn a living with Liverpool merchandise. And both of them are big Reds as well. And they're there for you. Just go along, please, and see them. And if you're ever looking at something different, have a look at Jamie Phillips's chat. He's a great lad. He really is a great lad. And we support each other, by the way. We really do. So if you ever want to go on a good pod, this is Jamie Phillips. He's the best. He's the best. And and there's Marios's look. There he is, the social one. Why Jurgen Klopp was a perfect fit for Liverpool. Think about that. Why Jurgen Klopp was a perfect fit for Liverpool. Because we're all socialists. Goes right back to the Shankly days. Socialism, togetherness. This is what we are. This is what Liverpool supporters are. And as Marios said, why Jurgen Klopp was a perfect fit for Liverpool. That's what it was. That's what it was. The social one. And we've got him on. Anyway, we've got him on. I'll bring him on right now and then the Vars. And there he is, all the way from Athens. This man is a marathon runner, jumps out of planes, hunts for sharks, unbelievable, skin diver, you name it, he's everything. Astronaut, yeah, astronaut, he does everything. So does Marios. And there's the great man himself. Hiya, Mario.
Hello, Frank. How are you, mate?
I'm good.
So nice to meet you. So nice to meet you. So many
days.
Yeah.
And you.
Are you okay? Are you nice?
Yeah, and do you know what? These other two lads, I love this. What a name this fella has. Vase of Flowers.
Evening.
That's
And there's our last guest here. And it's Daryl Merry. Look, he goes missing. There he is. Look at him. Look.
I'm here.
Hiya, Daryl.
Got me out on freezing.
And I just want to go through some of these things, okay? You know, get the lads up and running. Darryl, Darryl. Just going to turn you off a minute. Just going to turn you off a minute. Darryl, if you can hear me, that's your mic going again. It's awful. It really is. Can you hear it there, Marios? Did you hear that? And you, Ray?
Yeah, it was a strange sound, yes.
Yeah.
Noise.
Terrible. Well, let's see if we can get us on again. Let's see if he's okay. Let's see. There he is. Yeah. There he is.
Can you hear me okay, Frank?
Yeah, we're okay now. We're okay.
Brilliant.
I just want to go through some of these lads. Lee Wizkes, even in Frank Ayall. That's Lee. Bless bro, Frank. You never walk alone. Hope you're all well. Says JK. He's one of our guests as well. Lovely lad. Shane McGowan. Evening. There's a chaser for me. Not too bad. Stephen Snape. There's Stephen. Ticks in the corner. But most of all, you've got us all on. And on bated breath in anticipation of witticisms galore. Oh, wait. Even if Frank and all fellow devotees.
Devotees.
Press the like, you never walk alone. Yeah, please press the like and subscribe, because what I was told it's funny enough, I was watching some program and he said all the subscriptions that have been going on to different podcasts and whatever have been taken away from or by YouTube because they want you to subscribe again. I don't know why. This is me. Now, I took no notice of that. And then when I went on to something that I go on, some podcast, it had subscribe. When I went onto their channel, it said subscribe, and I was already subscribed. So please subscribe to, get the algorithm up there. Please do that for me, because as you know, I have great guests, great comments, everything. And thank you, JK. Really, really appreciate that. Evening, Kenny Rogers. I mean, Frank Kenny Rogers. I'm not going to sing you a song. That's stuff. Jumps out of planes. I thought Sylvester Stallone was coming on, says JK. No, Marios. Francine jumped out of a plane for, the charity mental health.
I'd love to do that. I'd love to have a go at that.
It's all right. I'll hire a plane and but you have no parachutes with me, you see. It'll be all right. Because Marios jumps out without any parachutes. He just lands on. He's like a feather. He just, very gently goes down like a feather.
The Greek Scouser.
Yes. The Greek Scouser, absolutely.
Flight of Icarus.
The Flight of Icarus, yeah. Well, he's good, isn't he? So there you go. And Jay, that's his name, Jay, not Eminem. And he says, hello, Frank. Jay, I'm sorry, I haven't been in touch. I'm awfully sorry. Good evening, boys, says Charlie Wood. Good evening, Charlie. And as Charlie says, I've never been a devotee before. And now there's our lovely Lisa. Good evening, lads. 7 league games in December. Win the lot, and I think Liverpool will be champions come May. You'll never walk alone. I'll tell you what, Lisa, I'd love that. I think
we can go on a win and run here, I think we can, if we can just get up ahead of steam, we can go on a really good win and run.
Well, we talk about that. I just want to get through these little comments because Redbird says, "Greetings from far away in the galaxy. I'm sending greetings to all you Earthlings." Well, it's come out that there is, UFOs are real. Even if Frank can guess an excellent display against nice the way they played. Gapco on form with Diaz and the normal Salah, to name a few. Well done, says Arthur Schofield. Yes, yes. And again, it's A Frank, says Norman. If you finish early tonight, that would be a crying shame. So please stay. Oh, what's going on here? Well, anyway, I'm going to go right to the Greek Scouser. Greek Scouser, Marios.
So close to score last night.
Yes, of course.
Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah.
What was your take? I'll be going to you all, by the way. I'll go to Elaine, then I'll go to Darryl. So, what's your take on last night's? It was in my opinion, it was a very comfortable win. There was a few hiccups along the way. There was just a few, where they broke through. And another team, a better team could punish us like that. But overall, what's your take on it, Marius?
Yeah, but I think that the start of the game was decisive and it was exceptional. We in the first 15 minutes we were leading by 2 goals, so it was all done from the very first minutes of the game, I think. So yes, the game was pretty comfortable for us, being in the leading position from the very first minute. So we had the chance to see some good moments from certain players. I am really happy for Kelleher as well because he had a good game, and it was much needed for the next games. We need him from the moment that Ali is injured. So it was a performance to boost his confidence. So I really liked it a lot. And also Konsa was exceptional one more time. And it was a good night for many certain players.
In other words, it was very satisfying. That's what you're saying. Very satisfying. And it was very satisfying. I just want to say a big hello to Jamie Phillips, football chat. I just mentioned him. If you ever want to get onto a pod, get onto Jamie because he's one of the best, believe me. And he's a lovely fella and he has great guests on, just like I do. You're a wonderful guest, all big Reds, you know what I mean? So if you ever want to jump onto any podcast, jump onto Jamie Phillips chat, football chat. And a lovely lad. What you've got with last night is that you've got Quansah. You mentioned Quansah. Every time I see that lad, every time he impresses me more and more. He really does. And I don't know who I was talking to or whatever. It was on Jamie Phillips's, I think. I'm sure it was. And I said to Redbird, I think it was. I said to, I wouldn't be worried if the likes of Matip and Gomez were injured and couldn't play alongside Virgil. I'd have Quansah in because he said he's ready for 2024, next season. I said, I think he's ready now because if one of the two get injured, to play alongside Virgil, he'd fill the boots. He really would. I think he's that good. What do you think, Lee?
Well, what pleased me was the clean sheet. It was great for Kelleher, great for Quansah, great for all the defence, but really for Quansah, for Kelleher, for Endo as well, playing the defensive midfield. All them will get a boost from us keeping a clean sheet last night. And it was really perfect warm-up for Fulham and for the other league games because it's a load of league games coming up now, isn't it? So for me, it's a
7-0.
perfect warm-up, provided we didn't pick up any injuries any strains that we don't know about. It was a perfect warm-up to get us in the mood, to get us prepared for these league games, because we need all the points from these league games. We need every last single point. It won't do to draw any of these league games away to Sheffield United or Palace. That won't do, mate. We've got to have all these points. So I think that performance will put us in good shape to do that.
Well, that's what Lisa said, wasn't it? If we win these 7 games, we'll win the Premiership. That's what she said.
You know, and we're well capable of doing that.
Of course we are. What's your take on that, Darryl?
Yeah, I thought really good performance last night. The defense, the back four, brilliant. One that stood out for me really, I thought Gravenberch was fantastic last night again. He's really looking a real top prospect of a player. And also Diaz was brilliant. Yeah, it was good performance last night. Again,
I think he could come out with very satisfactory. It was a comfortable win. We went in there, as I said, there was a few hiccups and whatever, especially in the latter part of the game, because we were 3-0 up until the late goal as well. So, and Gakpo, I'm going to go to, we mentioned Kwanzaa, I'm sorry about that, doing all this. I mentioned Kwanzaa. What's your take on Gakpo on his brace, Marius?
Yeah, I think he was the man of the match for me, because he reminds me Roberto Firmino role last night. He was exceptional, and I think he gives the team something different. He's a player like no one in the front line, so that gives us the quality to play in different styles and different styles of game. Yes, so I really liked him a lot, and I think it was a much needed performance for him as well. He's good, but that performance, I think he will boost more his confidence, and I like him a lot because of the Firmino role. For me, I loved him.
Well, we've got a lad from Hollywood here, Dexter Baker, one of the greatest actors. He must be a great actor with a name like Dexter Baker, mustn't he? But he turns around and says, Gakpo was awesome. Absolutely. What's your take, Lee?
I think with Jota out, we'll see him on the left a bit more. And like him and Núñez can interchange, because with Jota out, it'll be between him and Diaz on the left when Núñez is in the centre, won't it? The shame for Kwanzaa is when the group stage of the Europa League finishes and we're in the hopefully in the Carabao final, there won't be that many games for the lad, will there? Because they'll all be important Premier League games or like knockout Europa League games. So his game time's going to come to an end, sadly. But he will have got a load of experience, won't he?
Yeah,
in the early part of the season. So,
What about you, Darryl?
Gakpo's gaining momentum in his form and his season, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, it's what JK says here. I'll get back to Lisa in a moment. I like Gakpo on the left with Darwin in the middle. Now, that's what JK says. And Lisa, we've got a great young class squad, all built by Jürgen Norbert Klopp. I think that's Jürgen, under an assumed name of Lisa Sims. We all love Klopp. No, only joking, Lisa. Love to see you. But anyway, I'll go back to Darryl. Darryl, what do you think of what we've just been talking about? And
Cody, yeah, Cody. Very impressive last night, I have to admit. Hopefully he plays a bit more, but with the coming up games, I could still see it being with Salah Nunez and.
Well, we'll go on to that.
Yeah, no, very impressive. He reminds me of Bobby, as Mario says.
Yeah.
Very, very tricky player, awkward to play against. Gets that rapid, sharp speed, as you saw for that penalty last night. He just got that extra speed, and for somehow he found it. I was quite shocked, but yeah, very, very well. Play well.
Do you know what? It's a good point that you picked up there, because it was that just burst, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was a lost ball with the goalkeeper coming out, but he had that burst of speed, and that's the vision that lad's got. That's the vision that lad's got, Gapco, because he's seen it, and bang, he went for it.
Yeah.
And obviously he was fouled, and the penalty was given, and Mo just bangs it away. No one on the world, not even Allison, would have said it got nowhere near that. Absolutely, it was one of the best penalties I've seen, to be honest, because he hits it with such power. Right, you couldn't get any in the corner of the goal. The side netting. It was incredible, absolutely incredible. That was it. I'm going to go to Marios. No, I'll go to Lee and go to Marios last on. No, I'll go to Darryl. I'll go to Darryl, then Lee, then Marios. Darryl,
yep.
Simicast, what do you think of his game last night?
Mario Simicast, brilliant. I have to admire him. The last two games, he's been fantastic, which I wouldn't think I'd say, to be honest with you. I wasn't keen on him up until the last two games, but he's proven me wrong. Playing brilliant, fantastic football.
Yeah, absolutely. I go along with that. Lee?
I knew he'd had a good game last night because he's been in good form against Brentford and City. So I knew he'd have a good game last night.
Yeah.
In good form, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm just putting in there a minute, because you mentioned City, the game against City. I thought that he was my contender for man of the match against City, by the way. He didn't put a foot wrong. He really didn't. Carry on. I'm sorry, Lee. Go on.
No, he's in good form, and it's good to see that he's having a run and he's in good form, and hopefully it can only get better. His form will get better, hopefully, and hopefully there'll be no injury or nothing, and he can just stay in the side, and his form will just, get better or stay, at the level it is, which is good, which is what we need. His form is what we need at the moment. Like, we kept a clean sheet there. We only conceded one at City, which came from Ali's thing. So, it's all looking good. It's all looking good with Simi.
Okay, before I go over to Marios, I just want to mention a couple of things on Costas, actually. Keegan Murphy, the shot was so close for Sabikas, and it was. If that was gone in, that would have been a blind to that. That would have been goal of the game, wouldn't it, really? Because he just hit it with such ferocity. And unfortunately, he hit the bar. Lisa Sims. Costas is getting better and better with each game. It's only resonating with what you just said. I think she's resonating with what you said there, Lee. And JK says, Samikas ran the most. Yeah, he did. He did run the most for us. He really did against City. And Keegan says, and then as soon as Robo gets back, Klopp will return him back to the basement again. and his form will disappear.
You never know, though. You never know.
No, you never know. You do never know. Lee Wizkid, twice since Robbo's injury, Costas has publicly admitted his faults and desire to make amends. Takes a lot to be honest. It does take a lot. Okay, what about you, Marios, and your take on your fellow countryman?
I think that the biggest thing is that nobody says where is Robbo. We don't really miss Robbo at the moment because of Costas, because of the performance of Costas, and we all knew the quality of Costas, but we have to agree that he was not at his best recently, but. After the second half against Brentford and especially against City, he has shown that he had gained the confidence and the self-belief. So I think he is now confident. So that's why he performs. And I think when you play an exceptional game in the biggest match of the season against City, that's enough to feel confident. So I think Costas will be better and better for I think, and as Vas said, you never know when Robbo comes back. He will need time to be back to the rhythm of the team and all these kind of things. It's not that easy to play from the very first day when he's fit.
No, you're right, because you can't just go straight back into it. After being he's going to be a couple of months out, isn't he? By the time he gets fit and whatever, it'll be a couple of months. So he won't go directly right into, the position. But you never know, as Lee said. The likes of his form is outstanding at the moment.
Klopp may want to reward him, mightn't he, Frank?
This is it, this is, and I've always said this. Whether you agree or disagree, I think Costas is a better crosser of a ball than Robbo.
Yes, me too.
I really believe that. And Lee Wizkid says Gakpo was making a statement of intent. He will be invaluable up front whilst Jota is out. And JK says having 5 attackers is necessary, as you can see. Jota injured and Gakpo comes in and does the job. And Lee Wizkid, don't like how vague Klopp has been about Jota's injury, hoping that's a lack of knowledge rather than covering bad news. I agree there, because I think Lee and I have mentioned about injuries and the lack of information about the injuries and how long they're out for. And it's like Thiago. I'm going to go to Thiago in a moment or two, because I'm going to go back to Marios and Ibu's performance last night. Konate's. What do you think of his performance?
About Konate?
Yes.
I think he showed good pace, and he was really good, and he helped a lot to the clean sheet, and didn't give the last attack any hope of creating troubles for Kelleher. So it was astonishing for me. It was really good. It was a proper performance. Yes.
No, I agree there, because when you mention pace, now I'm going to compare Matip and Konate here. Remember when that lad went through and he put a shot in, but it was Konate who was behind him, and he got right up to him with his pace, and he blocked the shot and went out for the corner. Can anybody recall that last night? Well, all I'm saying is, I don't think Matip would have been able to have got back That's all I'm saying. To block that shot. But Konate did. I thought he played very well. But we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. I'm gonna go to Lee now. What do you think of Konate's performance last night?
Yeah, he done well. I was just pleased to see him back, Frank. Were you surprised he took him off when he did, or did you think they'd take him off at that point?
I thought as soon as he came off, I was thinking about him coming off, by the way, because
it was quite early, wasn't it? It was like, was it 55, 60?
Yeah, it was around 60.
It was quite early. But Joe was quite safe when he went there, wasn't he? But it was quite early, 55, 60, wasn't it? But
yes,
I was just pleased to see him back, basically. And he did look good and safe when he was there.
But I was wondering if he'd take him off to see, saving him for Sunday. That was my first thought. He must be saving him for Sunday. Must be saving.
It'd be harsh on Matip to be dropped, wouldn't it? It'd be harsh on Matip to be dropped for Sunday.
Well, there you go. And it's well, we get back to when we're picking the team later on, if you don't mind. Darryl, what did you think of Ibu's performance?
Yeah, I thought Ibu was quite solid last night. To be fair, he had quality there with him, who I thought was the better of the two. But no, solid. Probably came up because I think he knows that I don't think he's got a lot of 90 minutes in him, to be fair. Konate at the moment. So it was good to protect him, to bring him off. But no, he was solid last night. Solid, play well.
That's it, to save his... he had to have minutes. He had to have minutes.
Yeah.
And that's why he was picked last night. But he was playing solid. He was actually playing solid. He did keep them quiet. And when he went off, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but when he went off, this is when, after a few minutes of him going off, they started to penetrate more.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion, in all honesty. But anyway, I'm going straight to you, Lee. Kelleher.
Good game. He made a few good saves. He didn't have a lot to do. Really, he didn't hurt us that much, did he? But he made a few smart saves. And I was pleased for him to get a clean sheet. So, yeah, I'd give him top marks for last night, Queven.
Okay, Marius.
Yeah, as I said at the start of the show, it was a much needed performance for him. And yeah, as you said, he didn't have to save a lot until Konate came out. But yeah, he was there when we needed him. So it was a good start for a run of games that we have that he has in front of him, because he will play until for 20 days. I don't know, until United he will play, I think.
Okay. All right. What about you, Lee? Okay, let's get on to this one. Maybe they have a words with him saying, listen, you better get up to speed. You're in for a while now. That's about Tsimikas, by the way. That's about Tsimikas. And JKC, modern day fans change their opinion on a player each game. Madness. Gomez has a bad phase, but this season has stepped up, running with the ball, shooting and getting assists. Tsimikas, the same. Now, I think that's an excellent comment, actually. I really do. Stephen Snape, all players need rhythm. Costas and Gomez are finding that now. Let's not forget, both centre-backs last night hadn't played together for some time. So our back four was somewhat experimental. Another very good point as well. And Jay Taylor, his name is, not Eminem. Jota's been struggling for a few weeks. You can see it. and he has
You know
been.
what? He's right there. The Jota hasn't looked like 100% fit, has he?
Well, okay, let me get back. Let me just say these because I think this is a very important comment, actually, what you've just said there. And let me get back to that. Conate says Soulboy is carrying an injury, so I think he will give Matip a run for a few games. Okay. Klopp said he took Konate off under ice as he's coming back from his latest injury, says Lee Wizkid. Okay, let's see that. And again, JK, Daz's mic is a tad loud and sounds distorted, bro. That's JK Kismet. That's your thing there, Daryl. Your mic. But anyway,
Is that mine again?
Yeah, it's okay. Leave it alone. My issue with Ibu is the amount of injuries he's having. He needs to look on his structural analysis, maybe body mass or posture, says Dexter Baker. What a comment that is. What a comment. Brilliant. And as Jake says, he did what he had to do. And the distribution is underrated. Big up, Queevy. Little show for the Austrian fans from Lask. They behaved impeccably and did their club proud. The Austrian media say that 4 of their players got Salah's shirt in the dressing room afterwards. And they did because he took his shirt off at the end and this fella came up and he said, I promised it to him over there. But when he said, I'll give you one when we got back into the dressing room. And as Snapey says, there was another 2 after the shirt. And well, I'll be talking about it in a moment. Lisa, I've got no worries about who plays anymore, Frank. Although I don't think Jones has been playing well. I'm going to talk about Jones and agree about Jota as well. We'll be talking about Curtis. And David Shakespeare. Hiya, Frank and guest. What did you think of our fans singing last night? You never hear them anymore singing songs. We haven't got any new songs for players yet. We heard the last fans singing more. I think it's been like that. It wasn't really a full house, to be honest, David. It wasn't a full house from what I could see. But yes, those last fans were absolutely wonderful, and they were in unison because as one side of them, was jumping up and down like this. They were jumping up and down, and then they stopped, and the others started jumping up and down. I thought it was brilliant, and it brought it was wonderful. It really was wonderful. Can I just say to people out there, will you please press the like button? I just need the algorithm out there. And have a look to see if you subscribe. It costs nothing. Just see if you can subscribe to the channel. Because, we've got the likes of Marius. We've got the likes of DeVars there and Daryl. And you lot, I don't like saying you lot, but you people out there, you get your comments read, and we do appreciate it. I think this is the only channel where we read out as many comments as possible without charge as well, because I'm not interested in all this charging things. Anyway, so what did you think of the fans, actually? Before I go back to the likes of Jota. All right, let's go straight to Jota. Marius, did you think? I've been thinking he's been carrying an injury, the last few games, like a niggle sort of injury. And yet that's why now he's out. What do you think?
About Jota?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was... against City, he was silent. I think he couldn't. You couldn't see him. You couldn't understand he was playing, but that was not just his problem. But yes, it was a kind of decline in his performances last weeks, and maybe the games with Portugal, give him more problems. And here we are now that he's out. I have to agree with a comment before about
carrying an injury.
Yes, and about Klopp, that he doesn't really says how serious it is.
No.
And how he will be absent, because when Klopp doesn't be so straight about this, it's not so good.
Okay. What about you, Lee? And Jota?
He might well have got a little niggle, mightn't he, playing for Portugal and play through it and then come back with it. We'll never know, will we? But I just hope he isn't out for like 2 or 3 months, because that will damage our title hopes, because his goals are crucial. We'll see anyway. We'll see what happens. But I just hope, as I say, I just hope it isn't a few months, because that will hurt us. That will hurt us if he's out for months.
Yeah. What about you,
By the way, the last fans got louder. The more goals we scored, the louder they got. Just say, Eminem's comment there.
I could hear it from the Greek TV. I realized that there was the last fans that were shouting. You could hear, yes.
Yeah.
I've got to, before I go over to Daryl, I've got to read this. Red Bird, Earthlings, please hit the like, Frank. Please hit the like. Frank needs his Alga Riga thingy. Midship for staying up.
Is that the capital of Latvia?
Alga Riga. I love it. What a fella he is. Anyway, go ahead, Darryl. What you just think?
With Jota,
yeah.
I don't know really. He was putting the goals away when he was coming on as sub, and then he starts the games and he seems to go off the boils. I don't know really to be with that, but they're saying return date 27th of December, aren't they? So for Jota.
Yeah.
But I think Alisson's out to the 18th. Well, they were said this morning. But Jota, I'm not sure about it, to be honest. He's a better player when he's coming off the bench. But whether he's got that, I don't know.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
On JKC's, I've been to a few games in Germany and the fans are loud. We have become too civilized in England where clapping seems enough. Like the European nights, and I'm going back to what was mentioned about the fans, being quiet. This is not like, and I think it's proved the difference between the Europa League and the Champions League, if you know what I mean. Because the Champions League has brought some of the greatest atmospheres I've ever experienced in my life. And I go back to 77 and the San Etienne game. And we can go, modern day, we can go right up to the Barca game, the Chelsea games. I'm talking about Champions League here. And one game that always seems to be forgotten was the Arsenal game in the quarter-final of the Champions League. And we were 6 minutes away from going out when Adebayor scored the equaliser, to make it 2-2. And their fans were like this. Pat Rice, I remember him going like this, and Wenger, saying we've done it. We've got the goal to go through, until Ryan Babel went up the wing, got the penalty off Colatorre, remember him? And got a penalty. Stevie put it away, and then Babel went on to get the fourth. The atmosphere, when Babel scored, that third, it was incredible. And when he got that goal himself, I'm sorry, Steven Gerrard got the third. And when he got that goal himself with the fourth, the roof went. The roof went. It was an incredible game. 6 minutes going out. It was like the what was it? It was like, what game was it when we were going out? Rivaldo, Olympiacos. It was like that. It was incredible. Yeah.
My stepdad reckons he was one of the last ones let in for Saint Etienne. Not the last one, but he said, there was only a few people let in, and he was one of the last ones, to be let in for that.
That's strange, that, isn't it? Because
some of my favourite ones were when I was in school, when I was 13, 14, say on the Standard Cup, maybe even just League Cup games that were just particularly noisy. Southampton League Cup semi-final. I remember Jimmy Case was playing for Southampton. And Paul Walsh chinned Kevin Bond because Kevin Bond spat at him.
Yeah. That was JK actually agrees with me. Facts, Frank. Champions League has a different, all new level of atmosphere and sound compared to the Europa League. And I've always believed that, to be honest. The time, I'll tell you, it was against Dortmund when we went 3-1 down at Anfield, remember? But it was when Lovren scored that fourth. I've never, in the Europa League, that is, I've never heard, the roar go up as loud. That was the loudest Europa League particular game, if you like. And this is what I mean about Champions League and the Europa League. And I think people are now only coming to terms that we're actually playing Thursday night football. No disrespect to the Europa League, but I think now that the fans will realise how close we are, because now we go straight into the last 16. We can play, what I mean is we can play young kids in the next game without any worries at all. We can play it. We can rest our best players, if you know what I mean.
Right. Do you remember the Screen Sports Super Cup that they made to replace Europe when English clubs were banned from Europe?
Yeah.
I remember going to see that at Anfield. It was 2 games. We played Norwich and then Everton in the Screen Sports Super Cup. There's loads of rubbish,
Yeah. Would be, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Screen Sports Super Cup.
Yeah, 1985, 86.
JK says, Stephen Snape says, JK, try and get to the St. Pauli game in Altona, Hamburg. Then you'll witness verbal fanaticism. Unreal, says Stephen Snape. But they are, it's a. Can I talk about this fella, by the way? And Redbird says, when Thiago last got injured, they said at the first he'd be out for a few weeks, and that was over a year ago. And this is the problem with our medical staff and, the management, even the backroom staff, they won't tell you how serious the injury is. Now, I'm going straight to you, Marios, straight over
Yes.
to you. Thiago, is his career finished over here in Liverpool?
I was really, optimistic about this season because it was the last season of his contract, and when he refused to go to the Saudis in the summer, I really liked his attitude that he wants to stay and try to play and all these kind of things. But I don't know really what happens to this lad. It's now 7 months, I think, that he's missing.
Well, yeah, you're right. He's played 30 minutes since last February. He's only had 30 minutes of football.
Yeah, he played 30 minutes in the preseason. I don't think he's...
No. He got injured in the February, and then he made a comeback in the April, but he only lasted 30 minutes, and he's been out ever since.
Yeah, but the problem is that he's, I think, the fourth biggest earner in the team. I think his wage is too high for the amount of games that he is playing. I think I can't see how he will renew the contract, how he will get a new offer from the team, and even if Klopp wants to keep him, I think that the FSG will let him go, as they did with Millie. It's a pity because he's a top player, he's a quality player, but he's always absent.
It is, and it's wrong. I feel sorry for him actually, but it's got to be moved. Excuse me, he's got to be moved on. He really has. He has to be moved on. What do you think of Thiago, Lee? Do you think he should be moved on?
While he's been here to see why Klopp took a gamble on him. If he could have been fit more, then we see why Klopp wanted him, but it just hasn't worked out, has it? He hasn't been fit enough.
No.
That's all.
No.
That's it, really, isn't it? For fitness.
Do you think that they should, no disrespect to Thiago, but do you think that they should let him go next month, January?
Oh, definitely. If we could, yeah. If we could cancel his contract in January without offending him, but it'd offend him, wouldn't it? Like.
Yeah, but if they said you can go on a free, Barcelona.
Yeah. If we could let him go to Barcelona on a free, yeah, that'd be brilliant.
And just say you can go now instead of in 6 months' time.
Or
and then
Saudi Arabia.
Then maybe
Saudi Arabia and try and be fit there or something.
Yeah, well, maybe, just maybe, if he does go, we will bring in a midfielder. We will bring in, but as I mentioned the other night, I'll go straight over to Marios here. Let me just go through these comments in a minute. Lippert says, Anfield has been quiet for some time now. Not like the old days. We would sing our hearts out at every game, even more on European nights. Very good point. Lovely Lisa says, the atmosphere will get better and better. The opposition always, as always, will do. Yes, I go along with that, Lisa. And JK says, been to Hamburg a few times as well. They are actually playing against each other now. St. Pauli versus Hamburg. And right now, he'd be watching it. He'd be watching it most probably. Hang on a minute. Let's just try and get these. After Lee Wizkid, Thiago was in operation before the end of last season, and we were told he would be back fit to play this season, which, of course, has never happened. Yeah, because he had something to do with his hip, wasn't it? Arthur Schofield. When we sing, we need to sing one that lets the opposition know who we are. The likes of the fields of Atholl, yes. These are the fields of Anfield Road at every home game, says Arthur Schofield. And Lisa says, Thiago is class, but he has to go. Injuries have let him down his whole career. I'm glad you said that, to be honest, Lisa. Kwanzaa has the influence of Virgil around him, and it's helped him, says JK. Thiago is another player the youth players look up to. I'd rather give him 150k a week than the owners keeping it and do naught with it. And that's another fact. But as I said, JK, if he goes, we could bring in someone. We could bring in a defensive midfielder. I'm going over to Marius because I asked this the other night and I want his opinion about Thiago cannot go to Saudi because if the work his foundation does in regards to human rights, well, yeah. If you adds up the games, he was good when he played. It's not as many as some believe. Thiago, for me, hasn't done enough to stay, says Redbird. Wow, what a statement that is. I'll go to you, Lee, about that. Would you agree? Would you agree about what Redbird says? You know, he hasn't done enough to stay, you know, because of his playing commitment.
No, he hasn't, to put it plainly. No, he hasn't. So, what was it, 3 years ago we got him? And we signed him on a 3-year contract, yeah.
4 years ago, because we hadn't signed anyone in 4 years until we brought in our midfielders now, and that's why I was screaming out for midfielders even last season. You know, the summer coming up to last season, I was saying we need at least 2 midfielders.
Oh, yeah. He was Pep's version of Rodri, wasn't he, at Bayern Munich when Pep first went to Bayern Munich?
Yeah.
Obviously, he was fitter then. He wasn't injured as much, but he was still injured a lot at Bayern. Because I remember a Bayern fan telling me that when we bought him, he said he's a good player, but he's always injured. So no, he just, you know, there's no way it deserves well, you know, we're not going to give him a new contract, but if we could get rid of him in January, that would be brilliant. But that won't happen.
No. Well, I'm going to Marius here. Well, just before I do, you may as well run his contract down. They won't get nothing for him, says Soulboy Fran. And Jeff Ellison's just joined us. Good evening, all.
What was that someone said about human rights or something? Thiago couldn't go to Saudi because of human rights. What did that mean?
Yeah, he's all this. He's into, you know, about human rights. Put it that way. If you know what I mean. He's into all that.
Okay.
You know, the unfairness of what's happening throughout the world.
Okay.
So that's what he's saying, you know, about Middle Eastern countries. But what a lot of people don't realise is it's their culture. It's their way of life.
Right. Okay.
It's their way of life. I mean, you know, if anyone knocks us about our culture, we've only got to look at, you know, fans when they sing about Liverpool, you know, calling them bin dippers and, you know, in your Liverpool slums and sign on and all this nonsense. We take a great offence because Liverpool, we've got our own culture. This is why
their culture is radically different from ours. It couldn't really be any more different to ours, could it?
No, well, that's why I look at different cultures, you know.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
can't
so
just
do I.
like go, oh, that's wrong, right? You know, what they're doing or whatever. And I'm talking about all cultures, to be honest. And from religion to cuisine to anything, you know, what people wear. I bought a thing to keep warm. I'll show you it one day. And I put it on and it looked like Demis Roussos. Do you ever remember it?
Hey, Marios, there's a great Greek progressive rock album, Aphrodite's Child, 666. It's got Demis Roussos and Vangelis on it. It's a good album. Vangelis on keyboards and Demis Roussos singing. Aphrodite's Child, the album's called 666. It's a good album. I heard it about 30 years ago the first time, but it's a good album.
Well, I look like
it's great.
I look like a cross between an Inuit and Demis Roussos with this thing over me. It's only to keep me warm, because the heating in my place is absolutely dreadful. But anyway, the whiz kid says nobody will take him whilst he can't play. We will have to wait for his contract to end. Yep. Because he's not ready until the new year.
My God.
And Dexter Baker says, I totally understand that. I'm just saying that's the main reason why he won't go. I respect all cultures and countries, religion. And yes, I agree with you there, Dexter. I totally and utterly agree with you. 666, that's the devil's elbow. Well, that's that. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the coming game against Fulham. I'll just give me one word. You know, one word on this. One word. Yeah, let's see what our soulboy France says. Klopp said last night about Batacic still growing into his body. He looks great. He looks a great talent as well. I don't know about growing into your body. A friendly reminder, it's 9 p.m. Time for your tablet, my friend, says Arthur Schofield, and I'll have to. Right. Before I go, and I'll have to take it, unfortunately. Thank you, Arthur, for reminding me. I'll go to you, Marios. Just a quick word, then. You know, I'll go into the how we're going to play, and you know the tactics will be shown against Fulham and whatever. Right. So because we don't need to pick Kelleher, right? So I'll be going into that in a moment. The back four, and if I'm not back in time, I want Lee to give his back four, but I will be back in time for the midfield. And do you think that this is the question, you know, before you answer the back four and whatever? Straight to you, Marios. How's this game against Fulham? Is it going to be a comfortable game, or are we just going to get at them and destroy them? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we will win properly, comfortable, not just not destroying them. I think comfortable, yes.
Okay, you, Lee.
Yeah, I think it'll be a comfortable win.
Okay, now I'm going for me little taboo. Okay, and I'm going to leave you with this, Marios. Then, once you've finished talking, I'm not back, Lee, but I should be back. You're back for Marios, please.
Yes. Trent.
And say why as well.
Yeah, I think Trent was the man of the match against Man City. It was. It's obvious that he will play as a right back. Whatever we are saying, Klopp has stated so many times that he is the right back of the team. So Trent, Konate for his pace, Virgil for his leadership, and Simi for obvious reasons. What about you, Lee?
Yeah, I think Trent, Massive, Van Dijk and Costas, because I think Massive's done enough to stay in the team for me.
Yeah.
Him and Virgil looked really good against Brentford and City. So I think it should be the same back four again. And then change it for Sheffield United.
Yes. Yeah, because we will play midweek. I didn't remember that. Yes.
Yeah, heavy schedule, so change it then. I think we could play Canate and Kwanzaa at Sheffield United. I don't think we'd have to play Virgil at Sheffield United. I think Canate and Kwanzaa could handle their attack.
Yeah.
Quite
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah.
I don't even know I think their attack is Ollie McBurney and some other bloke who I'd never heard of before they got promoted. I remember McBurney because he played in the Premiership before for someone else, but I don't know them. I don't know them, Marios. So I think give Kwanzaa and Canate a chance against them when we go to Sheffield, possibly.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, for sure, because we need the rotation. We need the change of the players, because we were going for every possible trophy, I will say.
But
And
after Fulham, the Sheffield United game is 3 days after that, and then 3 days after that it's Crystal Palace away at 12:30 in the morning. So it's like 3 days, then another 3 days, then another 3 days. So we're gonna have to come up with something rotation wise. And in all positions. So
and you mentioned before your back four, and it was Trent, Virgil, and Matip, and it's really great that all of these three lads are right there so many years. It's exceptional. They're playing together the last 7 years, I think, and they're still there in the starting lineup of a team that is competing for every possible trophy. Is incredible.
Yeah, long
So
lasting.
you picked the back four, yeah. Who did you pick, Marios?
Yeah, I picked Trent, Konate, and Virgil, and Simi, but Vas told Matip, and I agree with him when he told it. Yes.
So you have Matip in instead of Konate?
I've gone for Matip, yeah, just because he played good and looked settled with Virgil in recent games. And then Canate can come in for Sheffield United, which is only 3 days after. And then we've got Palace 3 days after that, haven't we, at 12 in the morning?
Okay, Dexter Baker said that's a good back four. And he also says, don't forget the Luton attack. Don't forget the Luton attack. Neil Broderick says, evening guys, must mention I was at the Etihad last Saturday. Unfortunately sat in the home end. It was the worst atmosphere I've seen, especially for a massive game. I think it would have been for them, when Trent scored. I think it would have been. But mind you, we all know about Manchester City and their atmosphere and what they're like anyway. There's no one to beat Liverpool fans when they're on form. and our away fans are exceptional. They really are exceptional. Okay, then back to you, Matt. No, I'll go to Lee on this. Lee, your midfield.
McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Why? Why?
Because that's the best midfield we've got.
That's your opinion, is it?
Yeah. To
Okay.
get the 3 points, that's the best one we've got.
Okay. What about you, Marios?
Yeah, me too. And I think, I was really surprised with McAllister's performance at the Etihad. And I think a reason why he played so well is what Klopp said before the game. And he said that McAllister can play in number 6, but if the whole team is defending well.
Yeah.
And that was the point at the Etihad. So this trio, these 3 players, Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai, are the best in terms of running and defending and pressing high. So I think this is the reason why this 3 is my pick also.
Okay, well, Lee Wizkid says, think he'll start Matip and give Ibu the last 30 minutes on Sunday. That's a good shout.
Wow.
Dexter Baker says, Mac, Graven, or Stroke Jones, Szoboszlai. So that's what he's going with. I'm going to go back to Jones, actually.
Yeah.
Gravenberch was poor last night. He seems to have a good game followed by a poor game. Must be his fitness levels. That's a very good point, because he's not just saying this, Neil. He's not just saying this, because I thought he was average last night. And when Jones came on, excuse me, when Jones, excuse me, I'm sorry. When Jones came on, I looked at him and he was very average. Now, to me, remember when I said the latter part of the game, last night's game, we seemed to take the foot off the pedal. Not only that, but, we just went about our way, and it let them in. It did let them in, to be honest. Okay. Now, when Jones came on, whether you agree, I don't know, or disagree, I'd like you to comment. Even the lads out there and the girls, please comment. I thought Jones slowed the game down.
He was in the wrong position, wasn't he?
What do you think, Lee?
Yeah, he was in the wrong position. He was on the right of attack, wasn't he, when he come on? He should have been in midfield, and Elliott should have come off, and Doak should have come on. Doak should have been on the right of attack, and Jones should have been in midfield.
Yeah.
I reckon we could score more goals then.
What do you think of what Lee's just said there, Marios, about him playing out of more or less his wrong position? Jones.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Lee, and but I think, as you said, he slowed the game down. I think Jones, paid the bill of the red card, because he was in his best, and he received the red card against Spurs, and then he missed some games, so he missed the rhythm, he missed the pace, and that was the case also in the first half against City.
Yeah.
Because he was, I think, the worst player of us at the Etihad in the first half, and it was due to the lack of the rhythm. And I think this is the case now. He needs some time and some consistency in some minutes to be back to his best. I think he's not far from his best, but he will need some time to be back, I think.
Yeah, I agree there, actually. I think that's a good a good analysis, because it's a shame. I like Curtis Jones. I like him. But I think Klopp, he tries to put, I don't know whether this is a criticism, I don't know, but he tries to put round holes, square pegs into round holes. This is what he's doing sometimes, especially with McAllister, and especially with, a couple of other players as well. That's why he won't risk anyone except McAllister at number 6, as a defensive midfielder. He hasn't got the pace for that particular role. And this is why, in my opinion, he lost confidence until he played at the Etihad, at City. He had a great game. He really did. He really did. And this is what we look for in McAllister. He's a more forward-looking player than, a defensive midfielder. And I think that's why I'm going to ask Marius the question I asked last Friday. Do you think that we need a defensive midfielder in January to move forward? For the team to move forward, Marius?
Yeah, I don't change my mind. I think we need one, because McAllister played exceptional against City, but he still has some difficulties in this position, especially in terms of the duels. His body is not that strong, and he misses the ball in dangerous areas really easily. So this is what a defensive midfielder, a proper defensive midfielder, is needed. That's the point. He can play in the number 6 role, but not in every game, I think. So we need a proper midfielder in that position, yes.
Okay. You agreed with that, didn't you, Lee, about a central midfield, a defensive midfielder?
That we need one.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You know who I'd like more than Palida? People like Palida, but I really like Douglas Luiz of Aston Villa. I think if we had him with Sobbers like Gravenberch and McAllister, playing the 8 role, the 2 8 roles, picking between them 3 for the 8 roles, we'd be a really strong midfield, wouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why we definitely need a number 6 in the January window. I really do. I really believe we really need a number 6. And I've said it for a long time.
It'd be great if FSG would just splash out in January on a number 6, wouldn't it? But I can't see it happening.
No, neither can I.
Douglas Luiz would probably cost about 80 million, wouldn't he, if we wanted him? Well,
you look at when Ginny went. We haven't replaced Ginny. We haven't replaced him. It's as simple as that.
No. Douglas Luiz was another one. Man City brought him over, didn't they? And then sold him to Aston Villa for, I don't know, 10 bob or something.
Well, Gravenberch is more proactive than Curtis, says Stephen Snape.
Oh, good point.
Would you not try Enzo in this to push McAllister further forwards with Szoboszlai? I don't think. I don't like saying this. I hate criticising. I don't know whether I am criticising, but I try to like Enzo. I try to like him, but I don't think he's at this level. What we need. I'm sorry to say that about the lads. I really am. But
at the moment, it's not looking it, is it?
No.
I've been reserving judgment, but at the moment, it's looking like maybe he hasn't got it. Like, I'm still reserving judgment. It could still happen, but maybe not. We'll see.
Very unlikely it will. Very unlikely. Elliot was very good, in my opinion, says Neil Broderick. And Redbird says, yet another creators were saying Ryan had a great game. I thought he was average. He was average. Last to the ball too many times for me. Jones was also poor last night. I totally agree with what Redbird says there. I totally agree. So that's it. Yeah, you're right. Dexter says we have very good options in midfield apart from a destroyer. Yes, the games are thick and fast, so they'll all be needed. Absolutely. Uh, Waterloo, the Warrior, was great last night, and Kwanzaa was my man of the match. I Yeah, I agree there. As I mentioned at the beginning of the pod, uh, no, I didn't mention it, did I? I thought the likes of Kwanzaa and Samikas, it was a toss-up between those two for my man of the match. That was last
Yeah.
night. And even I mentioned Samikas against City. And again, it was a little toss-up between him and Trent. Only Trent for scoring that goal. Anyway, uh, Jay Taylor says, prove you're good enough to put on the shirt. Simple. That's right. Neil Broderick says, Trent has rediscovered his mojo. That's what says Neil Broderick. What do you guys think about Florian Luis? I think we can get him on the cheap, says Dexter Baker. Lee.
If we can get him on the cheap, then yeah, definitely. Yeah, he looks an all right player. He looks a good player. If he was available on the cheap, and that's how FSG operates on the cheap, then yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, but when Liverpool go after the player, they always they add the money up, don't they? If you know what I mean. Like like Fulham went in for
I mean, I prefer Douglas Luiz because he's got Premier League experience.
Yeah.
But if it's down to a player being FSG's price, then cheap is their game, in it usually.
Yeah, which is sad. I think that there's a lad from Bayer Leverkusen who Liverpool. It's again. I hate these rumours. Looking at him, what's his bloody name? I forget his name, but anyway, Wirtz, a lad named Wirtz.
Yeah. What position is he, Frank?
They want like 70 million. There's no way that they're going to pay out 70 million.
What position is he?
I think attacking midfielder, I think.
Yeah, he is. He's an attacking midfielder. It'd be great if we got him, like. Don't make no mistake about that. Make no mistake, because I think Xavi says, if you're going to buy a player, get this fella. He's great. And he is. He's very good. And he's only young. But I don't think...
I don't think we're in the market for an attacking midfielder.
No. Stephen Snaith, for me, an orthodox six would free McAllister up and give us an extra fluid front five. Add Gravenberch to that, and there's more than enough scope for creativity. Jay says, Enzo is a player who's not going to light the sky up. He's there to try to win the ball back and play the easy ball. Mark Simons, Gomez could play at number 6, as all his round play and ball control recently has changed my thinking. I think that's a good shout. I've only ever heard a couple of others say that about the number 6 and Gomez playing there. They haven't tried him. And I don't know, it's well worth having a go. Dexter Baker, been watching Kwanzaa for the last 5 years, so I'm happy for him. However, my man of the match is Gapco. And Redbird says, I'm glad Simi has a great game as well. Hopefully, it will get people off his back. Yes, some fans do me head in. Not a great Liverpool saying, do me head in. Do me head in, as they always dissing on about one of our players. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Gomez right back all day long, says Neil Broderick. So, there's all good opinions, different opinions about this. I'm going with your forwards now, Marios.
Yes, Mo for sure.
Yeah.
Diaz and Nunes.
Diaz and Nunes. Okay. What about you, Lee?
Gakpo, Nunes, Salah.
Gakpo, Nunes, Salah. Gakpo, Nunes, Salah. So you see, it's, for the past few weeks, these have been coming out and saying, I've got to get Tarot. Sorry for tonight, Frank. His connections went haywire. His connections went haywire. Don't be sorry, Tarot. Please don't be sorry, mate. Anyway, Neil Broderick, Diaz, Nunes, Mo. So imagine if Jota was fit, and for the past few weeks, it was fluctuating what people were saying, who they'd like in the front three, because people were picking Jota over Nunes, and Nunes was getting picked over Jota. Now it's Gakpo, isn't it? He's in the mix, what you said before, Lee. You'd bring him in. And yet there's people like Marios, Diaz, Nunes, Mo. Now, I'd pick that. I'd pick those three. So, but you do get people saying, no, I'd rather have Gakpo. But who would you pick over Gakpo? You've got to have Diaz in. Albeit Nunes scored, not Nunes, I'm sorry, albeit last night, Gakpo scored 2. Would you rather have, say, like against Fulham, right? Would you rather see Nunes come off the bench, or would you rather see him start? I'm going to you, Lee.
That's why I want Nunes and Gakpo starting this one with Mo. Diaz can come off that. Joe can come off the bench as well. Hopefully in this one, if with a couple of goals up, because with Gakpo getting 2, I want him starting this one. Most games in the before the international break, all the games I was saying start Diaz, Nunes, and Salah. But I've changed my mind now. I want Gakpo in the starting lineup because of his 2 goals. And he's got pretty much as much pace as Diaz anyway, Gakpo. So won't be losing out on pace.
Okay, Daryl Merry says Salah, Nunes, Diaz. Mo, Diaz, Nunes, Sneepy says. Redbird. Daryl, come back when you've paid your Wi-Fi bill. Soulboy says Gakpo played 90 last night, so he will replace Diaz in the last 30.
Yeah. I never thought of that, actually, yeah. Never thought of that.
But you see how good these are? I'm talking about the comments coming through from the lads out there. Nunes against Fulham and Gakpo against Sheffield and Palace, says Dexter Baker. Nunes, so he's changing us around to give them games. So he's saying Nunes against Fulham and Gakpo against Sheffield and Palace. So he's giving Gakpo 2 games there, right? Diaz, Nunes, Mo gives you electric pace, says Neil Broderick. And Jay says, all healthy completion, you pick the best and we're blessed. He's right. Competition, he meant. Healthy competition, you pick the best, and we're blessed with picking this best. Darwin to start, but to be honest, we have great options and all. We have great options. It all depends on the opposition that will decide who Klopp starts. And Darrell says Gravenberg is a must starter. I love him. That's what Darrell says. See, when you look at our team, the options are there. The options are there. It's like I've said this before. If Matip Gomez gets injured, I'd love, I wouldn't be too worried if Quansah played. And I'm talking about now. I'm not talking about next season or whatever. It wouldn't worry me too much. It's not like last season or the season before when we've had injuries and they've been out for a very long time. We've got a squad there that can act it. Well, it's a squad. It's not fully in depth, to be honest, because as I said, we need a defensive midfielder. We really do need a defensive midfielder. But if we had a defensive midfielder, I think our squad will be the envy of anything, to be honest. And I think we can go on and win the league. And this is the beauty of the game, because people are saying, well, all right, I'd rather have Gakpo there instead of Nunes, and so they're swapping us around, or Diaz, No, I'd rather have Diaz on the left or Nunes on the left with Gakpo in the middle. So it's great to have these options, and especially in midfield, because don't forget, midfield, we had none last season. We had no midfield. It was shot. Stephen Snape. Have any of us stopped to think just how spoilt we are at the moment? I think I answered that, to be honest. What do you think of Bradley? Could he be Trent's backup?
Could be.
He renewed his contract, I think, today,
Yeah, I think so. Jay says, I back Kelleher, unbelievable keeper, under the guidance of the best, Ali.
And Taffarel.
Yeah. Because they brought him over, didn't they, from Brazil to give Ali, coaching thing. You've only got to look at Ali. I'd hate him to be out for a while, though. I really would. And Dexter says, Frank, at some point we are going to have to ask questions about Nunes if he doesn't kick on. The PL is ours to lose this season because of our depth. Would you go along with that, Lee? I'll read that again. Shall I read it again just for the sake of it? Frank, at some point we are going to have to ask questions about Nunes if he doesn't kick on. The PL is ours to lose this season because of our depth.
Yes, Dexter, you're right. To a certain extent about Nunes, he does need to start bagging these goals soon. We need to see goals quickly over Christmas. I think we will, though. I think he's going to start scoring soon. I mean, he has been scoring, but I'd like to see him more. I want to see him score against the likes of Sheffield United and Palace, some of these crummier teams. I want to see him bag a few against them. The way he didn't against Luton, the way he missed against Luton. I want to see him against like Sheffield United, Palace, bloody whoever else is coming up. Or, then obviously against United and Arsenal as well, the big games. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. I want to see him start to kick on over Christmas.
I agree. I totally agree with what you just said. What do you think, Marios, about Nunes? Do you think he should kick off now?
I'm really relaxed about Darwin because I really like his attitude and his energy in the during the game. He's a man that he always occupies the opposition and the opposite defense. So this is useful. Even if he's not scoring, he's creating. He makes busy the defenders. So this is really useful. But yes, we of course it would be really nice for us and for him as well to see him scoring many more goals. He's still, not so. Uh, he has not. He doesn't have so composure, I think, in sometimes. But the fact that all of the fans love him and support him will help him for sure. So I think it's a matter of time to score again.
Okay. No, for me, he just scored goals. I'm quite surprised at how many he scored, if you know what I mean. And he just scored them. But he scores the more difficult ones.
Yeah.
And yet the easiest ones, it doesn't seem to. Like when he hit the post the other week, it was easier to score. And when that, I don't know, he missed an absolute sitter from a yard out. And you're not
The
supposed
one
to
against
do
Luton, wasn't it? The one against Luton, where he put it over the bar or something like it. He can
Yeah.
strike a miss from like 2 yards out or something. That was a weird one. But he's made loads of assists, Annie. He's made,
Yeah.
they've all been for Salah. He's made about 9 assists and they've all been for Salah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good point as well.
I'm sorry, go on. What else?
Oh yeah, good point. That was what I'm saying about the assists. Yes, I
Well, it's
approve.
like Mo, isn't it? Really, it's very similar to Mo because when he doesn't score, people moan, but they forget the assists. They forget the assists, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So he does make, he does contribute greatly to Darwin, and to me, he does cause chaos when he plays. Defenses are terrified of him. They really are. And JK says the amount of quality strikers has gone downhill since the old days. Having a gem like Darwin at our club is okay with me. I don't have no expectations of him and let him surprise me with what he does. That's a good comment, isn't it? Because he is full of surprises. Whether he misses a glaring opportunity or scores a cracker like he did against Newcastle. That's a typical Darwin narrative, to be honest. If Darwin hits the post, people say he missed a sitter. Any other player who hits the post and fans say he was unlucky, Darwin creates space for others, which people don't give him a credit for. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good point, that Redbird. And Darwin's linking up well with Mo, so he'll get chances. The infuriating thing is he scores worldies and misses sitters. I just said that comes from Stephen Snape. Salah wouldn't have as many goals if it weren't for Darwin's assists. Very good point, says Redbird. Yet again, he don't get credit for that. If Salah's assists say Darwin, people would be raving. Okay. His all-round gameplay has improved for me.
Yeah.
He needs to stay a little selfish and actually go for it, says JK. You think about that as well. We are fortunate to have individuals mentioned this evening, and interaction with them will make us a team to be reckoned with. Yes, I like that little. That's a nice little comment. Actually, it's a nice little. Darwin's a far better player than last season. He links better now, which is a bonus. And every game he gets chances. What you think of that? That's a very good comment, Marius.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I have said so many times that he gets helped by the fact that he plays in a good team this season. Last season was his first one, and he was playing in a team that was out of legs and a bad team. So this season we are really good side, and Darwin is a part of this good side, and that helps him a lot. It helps him having players around him that are playing really well and have energy and pace.
What do you say, Lee? Would you agree with Marius on that comment?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, he brings a lot to the team. If he was missing chances and we were lower down the league, people would have a right to be worried. But, you know, we are where we are. We're only a couple of points off the pace. And I think he will start scoring more of the easier chances as he gets more experienced in his career.
But you know what? You're saying that when he does miss chances, his confidence doesn't seem to wilt.
It's
Yeah,
a good sign, that, isn't it?
Yeah, he just carries on.
Mm.
He just
I think
carries-
that the fans help as well. I think.
Oh yeah, because
Mhm.
as Soulboy says, Darwin's a far better player than last season. He links better now, which is a bonus in every game. And Redbird says Darwin can't win. Some fans can't win in some fans' eyes. They expect him to score every time he touches the ball. I'm one of them fans because you do it when he goes through, you do expect him to score. But I don't criticise him. Chelsea, United, Arsenal, Spurs would all take Darwin tomorrow. That says it all, says JK. Would you agree with that, Marius?
Very sorry, I was
No,
answering
it's okay.
a message.
He's, no, he's not. Do you know what he's doing? I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, Marius. You're looking at, what is it? Get me out of here. Over here in England. In the jungle. Get me out of here. No, JK says Chelsea, United, Arsenal, and Spurs would all take Darwin tomorrow. That says it all. Would you agree with that?
We'll all take what he means with this phrase.
No, if he went on the transfer list.
Oh, for sure, yes, of course.
That's what he means.
Of course.
If Liverpool,
He's a world-class centre forward.
yes.
And his physicality is great. He's a tall guy and is with big pace and speed, and he has everything.
Yes.
He has everything.
Yes. And he can head a ball as well. He can hit a ball. He can go past players. And this is what people tend to forget. But as JK says, and that's what he's all about, is Darwin. I'm being honest. I reckon he's better coming off the bench. He really is. Especially when the other team's starting to, quieten down, getting a bit tired. The speed out of them. And the speed, as someone mentioned before, we've got a fantastic pace with the likes of Darwin, Mo, and
Diaz.
The pace out of those three is frightening. It's electric. And this is what it's all about. And Stephen Snipes agrees with Redbird. Diaz likes scoring headers. You can tell from his face that he's okay now after his dad's ordeal. I'm made up you said that. JK. I really am. I wish you were on tonight, JK. what are people's? Evening, lads, says Jason McGiven. No, this is Brian Edley. Evening, lads. Sorry I'm late. Another good win last night and no new injury concerns. Cost us man of the match there.
Frank, as you said.
2 games in a row. Just imagine if Nunes just starts to score more. Wow. And, this is what we've been talking about. And we still got Stefan Batic to come, says Jay Taylor. You're right. We do have him to come back. Tell you, hang on. The whole City team tries to get the ball to Haaland. That's why he has loads of chances, far more than Darwin. That's not to say Haaland isn't a top striker. That's right, of course. Haaland's a great striker.
Good point. That's a good point.
We could have had him well before City, by the way. I tell you, like Darwin, Pep. And Brian says the simple answer to the Nunes conundrum is as simple as this for me. Imagine how we would feel if he got sold to another top 4 team. We would be raging with fear. And how about this for a bit of controversy? I still think Diaz goes to Barcelona in the summer.
Right, they got money now, have they, Barca? Is their money bubbles over?
Well, that's the courtship. You think about it. Barca want Thiago.
I'd swap them Diaz for Rafinha if it came to it or something.
What about that Gavi? But he's injured, isn't he, at the moment? Gavi, I like that Gavi. I think he's great. Evening, Brian. I hope all's well in the Emeralds, I say. Stephen Snape and Redbeard. If Darwin played for City, he'd have loads more goals. If Haaland played for us, he'd have less goals. I'm certain of that. So that's put it in perspective, isn't it? By Redbeard. That's put everything in perspective. If he was playing for us, Haaland, he wouldn't have as many goals. And if Darwin was playing for City, he'd have more goals than what he's got with us now.
Good. That's a good point, yes.
It is. Would you agree with that, actually, Lee?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I suppose it's true.
Jay says, imagine the Beatles song, Imagine Darwin had Rushy's foot. Yes. Or brain, in front of the goal. Rushy's brain in front of the goal. He'd be well out there now. Mbappe, I'm telling you now, says Darryl Merry. I don't want to hear that. I do not want to hear that. What do you guys think of Kiroy Figueroa? Well, then, next academy player to make the first team.
Nice one.
Kiroy, yeah. PSG want Canetti for 60 million. Would you sell? Right over to you.
Well, not for that, no. Want more than
that. What about you, Marius? 60 million?
No. I'm quite surprised because I didn't know that PSG won Konate.
Neither did I. Be looking for 100 at the very least.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a great age also. Yes.
Yeah, he is a great age. I like Konate. I really like him. He's good with his head. He's got pace, as we mentioned. He's got lots of pace. But he just gets that niggly injury constantly. I'm not saying constantly. I'm not talking like Thiago or the other people who've been getting injuries that we've just sold, like maybe. Soulboy says, no chance Diaz La Liga is poor. That's why Bellingham is a superstar. It's like the Scottish League. I've heard PSG on Konate, says Darryl. And Lee, he can't get past 20 games a season. I'd sell him for 60 million. And that's what Darryl said.
Yeah.
60 million. I wouldn't. I'd keep hold of him. He's only young. How old is he? 23. That's all he is. 23. And centre halves, they can go into like the early 30s, just like the big Veg.
Yeah.
They can go right on. But anyway, that's them.
And he's experienced enough, I think, for Premier League. It's the third season of his. So Konate, it's his third season. So he's experienced as well. He's young but experienced.
Yeah. But I like him. I really like him. I really do. And if he gets past this injury thing, it'd just be him and Virgil until Quansah comes and Virgil just slides away, as you know, because the more or less, well, there's about 2 years, 3 years between Konate and Quansah. Early job for me, up early, down at Stoke tomorrow morning. We'll be filmed by 3 clear goals and Forest will take Tonk Everton, say Stephen Snape. Okay. Redbears. We get this Mbappe every summer and every January it's all bull, and besides, Klopp won't allow any prima donnas in our club. I agree with Frankie boy. We don't want him. Thank you, Redbears. No, but it's absolute. I'm fed up at all. And people bring it out. I think it's for something to say. I really think it's for something to say. They put Mbappe. And you see it in their little headlines, for their podcast. I don't even watch. Take care, one and all. Been a blast, say Stephen Snape. Thank you, Stephen. You're a good man. All good, Snapey, mate. Just back from driving range with Jaden. I'm throwing out. He'd play in the snow. Frankie de Jong for me would solve everything. I agree there. I think that's one of the lads we could. I'd love it. I'd love us to get him. He's good for, and he's one of these lads who. He's one of these lads, Frankie de Jong, that you go, wow, yeah, if you're into that, wow, yeah, get him. But then he just goes off the radar, doesn't he? Until someone mentions him again, like Darryl. Yeah, I like Frankie de Jong. And not a big fan of Jones, but he ran yesterday to close down Lask. And it was good to see Elliott do the same, says JK. Well, that's not bad. I'm glad someone's given Curtis. I thought he slowed the game down, to be honest. But as Lee said, he wasn't playing in his position. He was playing more back. So, yeah, I must have been giving him unduly criticism, to be honest. Or undeserved criticism. I'm sorry about that if I did. Brian says, yes, Lampard, I agree. Elliott looked good again. We'll have a knock one day, Brian. I don't know about that. Hang on. Let's talk grassroots. I pay a tenner to score an hat-trick and don't get to keep the ball. That's it. I score an hat-trick and I don't get to keep the ball. Grassroots. Only problem is, Frank, he's on 300k a week at Barca, says Darryl. Yeah. That's Frankie de Jong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fan of Elliott. He does the simple things right. Xavi and Iniesta. That's who he's talking about, JK. And just needs to get stuck in a little more. Says a reply to Redbeard. Well, listen, lads. I love you, so you know that, Tony. I love you. Would you rather? Are you doing anything on Tuesday, Marios, because I'd love you to get back on with George.
Yeah.
George,
I have to go to a concert with my mother. Brian Adams is coming to Athens on Tuesday. Yeah.
On Tuesday, so yeah.
So I will try to make it on Thursday.
Oh yeah, well that'll do me. That'll do. You're always being good. So your final score.
Oh. Well, I would go with a 2-0 victory. Comfortable.
Okay,
calm afternoon. Yes.
So, who's your goal scorers, or aren't you saying?
Darwin and Mo.
Yeah, because Mo needs that 200 goals, doesn't he? I think he'll go. I think he'll be having pop shots from everywhere, and one of them is bound to go in if he doesn't get a penalty. That is. Yeah, I like that. 4-0 for me, says Darryl. Darryl, I'll get back to you about Tuesday, okay? Vars, your particular scoreline?
I'm going to go 3-0. I was going to go 4-0, but I've chopped a goal off it. Just going to go to 3 now.
Who's your likely scorers?
Sobersley, Gakpo, and Van Dijk. Van Dijk header from a corner.
Okay. 3-1, says Soulboy. Is it Sunday, your next TV and movie show, Frank? Yeah, it is. I forgot to ask. I knew there was something I had to ask me. Forgot all about it. Lee, do you fancy doing it?
Yeah. Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, but around 10:30.
In the morning, yeah, okay, yeah.
Is that okay, people? 10:30 Sunday morning. You're not going to believe it, but when was it? I got all ready and everything. You know, it was one evening because we were doing it, weren't we? I don't know what I was doing. And I came in and I sat here like that. I'm going, where's Jason? Because I don't know what show. I don't know whether it was a podcast or what we were doing or anything. And I thought, that's already done it. And, you know, it's already done because I fell asleep, you see. It's already done the pod. I'm losing it, to be honest. I'm absolutely losing it. 2-1, says Brian Headley. I think this might be a tight. Fulham got a lift during the week, even though they were lucky. But I think it's a match we could miss Jota. Okay. Jay Taylor says 2-0. Gravenberch will start Sunday with Sobozo and Maka, says Darryl. And JK, how about this for a thing? 5-0. Salah, Darwin, Diaz, Trent, and Gakpo when Gakpo comes on, unless he starts, I don't know. All right, boys, thank you so much, and I hope to see you next Thursday, Marios. Hope so.
Yeah,
enjoy
the see you too. Thank you so much.
Because, I'm absolutely delighted because everything you do, I do for you. That's what Brian Adams. That's what JK said. Everything I do it for you. Anyway, lads, it's just
So, Frank, will Jason send me a link for Sunday morning?
What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah, I hope so. I've got a cracking film to talk about, you know. I really have. It's a really good film, and I hope people. And do you know what it's for as well? It's for if you're married or whatever, you know, it'll be good to watch with them as well. Mm-hmm. And it's a comedy drama.
Okay.
It's really good. It's really good. I like these kinds of things. So I've got that to talk about. A couple of others as well. which is good. Marios, mille grazie. Mille grazie, Naomi.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Okay, and I'll see you, hopefully, Marios. Try and make it next Thursday, please.
Thank you. I will try it.
Look, all right, I've seen that. Brilliant, lads, each and every one. Great crack as always. Stay safe. You never walk alone, says Brian Edley. Top show, bros. You never walk alone. Let's go Sunday and Wednesday, says JK. JK, I hope you can come on with us on Tuesday, mate. I really do. Good performance, chaps. Take care all night. That's Arthur Schofield. And it's just for me to say, Marios, thank you. And
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Next Thursday. Have a good sleep. And Jay, Lee, is that okay with you?
Yes,
Sunday morning. All right.
Okay. Cheers, mate. Good night.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. And it's just for me to say, oh, look at that. Look at that. Bless Frank, Lee, Marios. You never walk alone. Civilized football talk the way it should be. Thank you, JK. You're a great man. You're a great man. And Mark Simon says, Killer on Netflix is excellent flank. Do you know what? I was looking at that. I didn't know whether to watch it. I didn't know whether to watch it or what. I might have a go at that, Mark, over the weekend. Anyway, it's just for me to say a big thank you so much. A big mille grazie. Thank you so much. I'll see you on Monday for me. History show. Yes, history show on Monday. And again, the pod on Tuesday, back to normal. And again on Thursday. And let's hope that a great win, if you like, on Sunday against Fulham. And we'll talk about it on the Tuesday. Thank you. And JK says there's also an Austrian crime channel that might interest you, Frank. Or top documentaries. That's what I watch, actually, these documentaries. I do watch them. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for keeping me company. And Frank is the new Napoleon. No, it's no good. I didn't like it at all. Joachim Phoenix is totally miscast, unfortunately. Anyway, that's where I've got to finish, people. Thank you so much. And see you all on Monday. If not, I'll see you all on Tuesday. Thank you so much. Good night. You never work alone. Never walk.